Hello, this is going to be kind of different. It's sort of an update to tell you what's been going on in Benway's world, which normally this video should really ordinarily go on my Benway's World channel because it's not gaming related at all, so if you're looking for that kind of thing, stop watching now. But if you're interested in what I've been doing while I've not been doing gaming videos, keep watching. As some of you may know, I got flooded out of this place a bit over a week ago. We had bad floods. I spent a couple of days on the sofa of a friend and colleague, and then went over and stayed at Joe's for quite a few days. Work was done to pump the water out of this house, out of the basement. There was no electricity, there was no hot water, there was no central heating. It was inhabitable in the sense that the living spaces were dry and there was a roof over our heads, but that was it. So, you know, I was, because this place is very near to where I work, and Joe is about 16 miles from where I work. I was sleeping at Joe's, driving home from her place and going to work, and then after work I would come here and nap a little bit for a few hours, a couple of hours, and then go back to Joe's. And there were like workmen coming in and fixing the place up in that period of time. Now, also in that time, trying to remember what days things happened on, Thursday, yes. Joe's son bought her a birthday present last January, which was one of these experience things that you can buy in places like WH Smith's and wherever else. You buy a ticket and you have a choice of experiences that you can go on. And Joe had sat on this for a while, not of the selection of choices that there were. She just didn't really know what one she wanted to do, and this was before Joe and myself were a thing. Then when we started seeing each other, she sort of said to me, should we go on this together, since it was like it involved a +1, if you like. And she picked one, because a lot of the stuff wasn't her cup of tea and wasn't my cup of tea either, and she picked one that we both sort of thought, that could be fun, and it was in Liverpool. So over Thursday and Friday we went to Liverpool. I have never driven in a city before, ever. The idea of driving in a city terrified me, still terrifies me, but it was like, well, the tickets were bought or booked, whatever. We'd booked a hotel, so let's go to Liverpool and see how that goes. The drive there was okay. Getting to Liverpool itself, the whole drive from leaving here to getting into Liverpool kind of had 3 stages. There was the driving through the Derbyshire Dales, I guess, Peak District and stuff like that. I loved it, absolutely fantastic. It's the kind of countryside that I have never driven in before. Being faced with just a sheer massive wall of trees, like there are cliffs and very steep hills, I guess, with just trees all up them, and with rivers and stuff down, like running alongside the road and stuff like that. I've never faced anything like that, and driving on moorland roads, but like not flat moorland, but hills. The whole drive to me was gobsmackingly amazing. I mean, I come from Milton Keynes. There's no landscape to speak of there. It's just bleh, boring, dull. You know, even in the countryside, it's not quite East Anglia flat, but it's pretty nothing special. So I found it brilliant, loved it. Then we hit the motorway. I used to be quite intimidated by motorway driving, not so much anymore, so I was all right with that. Then we got into Liverpool. Nightmare. The main problem was there were roadworks, and we were travelling by sat-nav, or I should say two sat-navs, because I have my sat-nav, it's a TomTom, a little bit out of date, can't do updates on it anymore, it doesn't have enough storage to accommodate the latest update. There were roadworks, and Jo had got her phone with Google Maps running on it for navigation, and that does keep up with the roadworks, so we'd try and follow my sat nav, and if that took us to where the roadworks were, then Jo would offer an alternative route. But when you're trying to get to one really specific location and you don't actually know what it looks like, and the sat nav is running you around in circles, it was very, very stressful. But we got there, and I didn't kill us, and I didn't kill anyone else. And I don't think I even came close to killing anyone else, though I certainly did make at least one driving error, which I'm not going to go into the details of. Yeah, so we got to the hotel, checked in, 7th floor, great views, photos, footage, something like that here now, maybe. Yeah. Then the experience, the thing that we were there for. It's a thing. Shiverpool. Historical city tours. We were doing the Hope Street Shivers. It's a ghost tour in Hope Street and the area around Hope Street in Liverpool. I don't know anything about Liverpool, and Jo had never, I've been there like once before, and Jo had never been at all. So a tour of areas of Liverpool that have a history of ghost related activity, shall we say, ghost stories. What I was expecting and what it is are completely different. My idea of tours in cities is you walk around with a bunch of people and you've got a tour guide going, and on your left is, and on your right is, and I'm doing my left and right the wrong way round, and you kind of look at the pretty scenery and don't really listen to what they're saying because you're just gonna drone, you know, boring. But I like architecture and stuff like that, so I thought, well, you know, look at the buildings and stuff. It wasn't like that. It wasn't at all like that. It was surprising what it was. First of all, it's at night. The tour started at about 9 o'clock at night, so it's pitch dark outside this pub. And because it was cold, there weren't many people taking the tour. There, less than 10. More than 5 or 6, but less than 10. I don't know, 7 or 8 or something like that. So there's a bunch of us standing around outside this pub, and then these 3 people dressed up like Victorian era corpses. Stage makeup basically, and in Victorian era dress, just kind of walk dance up to us, and the manner of their speaking was theatre. I mean, they were either their students or they're recently finished uni type student people, you know, graduates maybe. Don't know if they're still in uni or not, but definitely theatre. Everything they did spoke theatre. There were 3. There was a woman, a blonde, tall woman, whose thing was dance. She was dancing around all over the place, nearly getting herself run over as she danced across the road in front of traffic, and they were honking their horns at her, and she was just gleefully prancing around. She made you watch. You couldn't not watch because you're thinking, what the hell is she going to do next? Quite bizarre. There was a guy who... My feeling is each of them had a role. The dancing woman and the guy, it was kind of like they were crowd control, if you like. They were there largely to make sure we didn't stray or get ourselves run over or whatever. The guy was also possibly security, and sneaky tricks make you jump. He would sneak off, and if they needed like a shadowy figure in the middle distance creeping through a location, it would be him. And also his vocal thing was he could project. He was loud and he could be intimidating. There was the final bit was, I mean, the whole thing was meant to be creepy, but I'll get onto that in a minute. But yeah, he could intimidate if he wanted to. Very loud. The main one, the one who most of your time, if you were there, would be focused on, a woman, kind of wild hair with a hat which she took off periodically so that you could see she's got wild hair. Her thing, she was like the main guide. She did most of the talking, shall we say. Vocal control. She had incredible voice control. Theatrical, but many voices, many ways of using a voice. And I found that fascinating. I mean, talented, very talented. The weird thing about them is, here were these three people, and we were in their company for like 90 minutes, and at no point did you ever have a clue what these people were actually like. Because even though, like, the lead woman had a conversation with one of the other tourists, obviously he was an American artist and caught her attention, I guess, so she had a conversation with him about what he did, but at no point did she break character. So here was a Victorian corpse woman having a conversation with an American artist about what he did. I'm guessing art was one of her interests. I don't know if she did it while in uni or whatever, but yeah, it was fascinating. None of them broke character. What was I going to say? Can't remember. Lost my train of thought. But we went around various locations. Down a dark alley at one point, couldn't see anything. In front, we went to both the cathedrals and down various streets, and they would stop and tell us various ghost stories relating to the locations we were at. But really, the buildings and the locations didn't matter. We didn't go inside any of them. They told us, you know, if you survive the tour, this made me chuckle. There was always this suggested threat that we might die or they might kill us. But if we survive the tour, we should check these places out in the daytime. And where it ended was in a kind of a tunnel in an area that goes down from the old cathedral down into a graveyard. And we're in this tunnel, and they're telling us this ghost story. And the guy, they've got us all bunched up in the tunnel. He's in front of us. The two women are behind us. And the way they built it up is to suggest that, oh my God, aren't we so stupid to be there with them in a secluded location out of sight of the public at night. It's getting on for 11 o'clock with them, and he's doing this very menacing, loud piece of whatever it was they were doing, theatre if you like, telling the story, but really up close, in your face. And that's the only point where the thought is like in my head, yeah, this is slightly uncomfortable. Obviously, that was the intention. and it was done so really, really well. The thing with me, I wasn't paying attention to the ghost stories. I didn't care. Not paying any attention. A good deal of the time, I wasn't listening to what they were saying. I was watching them and listening to how they spoke as much as what they said and what they were doing, because you would focus on one of them, or they would want you to focus on that one, and it was usually her with the hair and hat. Very striking looking. If she were talking, it was difficult not to watch. But I noticed that when she was doing her thing, the other two were doing other things, like setting up a situation. He would be sneaking off, ready to jump out and surprise you after you moved on, if you like. And I thought it was all very, very clever. I was more fascinated in the process. Because when when you're going to go on a tour, you expect a certain thing, and when you're presented with what this was, it's fascinating. And I was just analysing, what the hell is this? What's going on? And yeah, that was not a tour. I mean, it was technically a tour, but that's not what that was. That was theatre. That was live street theatre whilst walking around part of Liverpool. And it was brilliant. It was absolutely great. And I mean, I'm not paid to say any of this, but they do their thing Thursday, Friday and Saturday. It's like £15.50 pre-booking essential. They're on Tinterwebs. Shiverpool Historical City Tours. They do a couple actually, Adult City and The Dead House. Not Adult City. What have I been looking at online? All old. Yeah, it's a strange font. I should probably edit that out. Oh, Old City and The Dead House. That's explore Liverpool's 7 original streets with exclusive... Yeah, okay. I'm not going to read their promotional material for them. But anyway, really good, really impressive. So that was what we were doing in Liverpool. The drive home. The drive home actually proved to be more difficult than the drive there. Getting out of Liverpool was much, much easier because we weren't looking for one specific location. The objective was simply get out of Liverpool. So sat nav was, we didn't get lost getting out of Liverpool. It was once we were out and trying to get back home, getting lost was a thing, because I really didn't want to go on the Manchester Ring Road, because there's a roundabout on that is horrible. It intimidates the crap out of me. It's the reason I don't go to Play Expo in Manchester. There's no way I'm going on that bloody anywhere near that roundabout, and I believe that the expo is somewhere in that neck of the woods. Not going there. So the sat-nav wanted to take us there, so we did the thing where ignore my sat-nav after a point, and Joe would provide an alternative route using Google Maps. But it got confusing. Joe gave me a direction which I followed. Actually, it may have been my sat-nav which gave a direction. But anyway, it said remain in the left lane, and I remained in the left lane, but then the left lane kind of split into two, and I took the wrong one. So we wound up going somewhere we didn't want to go, and then I got us lost again, and we wound up at Manchester Airport Terminal 2. I don't know how that happened. And we went through... God, where the hell... Was it Stockport? I don't know. We went through somewhere that we really had no intention of being there. Basically a 2-hour journey to get home took 4 hours. And of course there was the constant problem of roads being closed because of floods, because of roadworks, because of rock falls. There was one area on our route, there'd been a rock fall. I mean, this is all post-extreme weather, so the whole of the north is just, or was, messed up, which made it challenging. But that has been the whole, like, since the floods. Life has been challenging but fascinating, and I have never known. How long has it been? Is it a week and a half, I think, isn't it? Something like that. It's been the most extreme week and a half of my life, I think. Just all the things that have happened, and the things that have happened in between those things happening, and just some of it has just been like surviving, and some of it has been really exciting and fun, and I don't know what to call it. It's been a week and a half. It really has. Anyway, so what are things like now? Where are we at now? I'm back in my room in the house that I live in. We have electricity. We have central heating. We don't have hot water like from the taps, basically. Sinks and baths and all that, cold water only. We do fortunately have an electric shower. So, you know, if we want to wash up, well, boil a kettle. Want to shower? Fine, got that. So it's habitable. It kind of stinks in the cellar because it's had raw sewage in it, which is lovely, and I don't know if I don't know if they're going to do anything about that. Disinfect it? Probably not. It really needs like a steam cleaner or something in there, but I don't think that's going to happen. So basically, if you don't want to get ill in this place, don't go in the cellar, and hopefully it'll dry out. And I'm nose blind at the best of times, so I don't know what it really smells like. Probably not good. But yeah, things are getting back to normal. All I can say is thank God for the people who I have around me. Friends, girlfriend. Thanks to everyone who's offered support, YouTubers and friends online, and there has been a lot of offers of support, and I am really grateful to every single one of you. Speechless. Yeah. It's been quite a time, and it has opened my eyes to like how many friends I have and how good my friends are. Yeah, words. It's been an experience, it has, and while it has been very, very challenging, I actually come away from it feeling good. I think it's been a positive experience. Just, it puts a lot of things into perspective and lets you know who your friends are, and also all the people in this house it's brought together. Well, I say it's brought together, some have left. It's kind of, it's been like, who's up to the challenge of staying in this house? There are people who, myself included, did not want to leave. I didn't want to leave. I'm not going to get a room as good as this, as big as this, with a fridge, with a sink, with the Wi-Fi in the room, for this money. It's not expensive, and I'm not going to get anything like it anywhere else around here, so I was in no way in any hurry to move out. Other people who live here, it's like it's their home. They've lived here for several years, they don't want to leave. Others simply couldn't afford to. Other people upped sticks and went quick as, you know, it's like as soon as it got difficult, bam, they're gone. But the ones who stayed pulled together, helped each other out. And that was great, just seeing people who... There are like 14 rooms here. There are 7, 8 people left in the house. And it's like, no one here really knows everyone else really well. Some know some better than others, but you know, but seeing people pull together like that was just great. It was a good thing. It's been a positive experience for all that it's been really challenging. Yeah. Okay. So if I haven't included it already, here's some footage of various bits. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to edit this all. You'll see. You'll find out now, or you found out already. Stuff, things. Okay. Shutting up now. Thank you for watching, and if there's more footage now, thank you for watching that as well, if you do. Cheers.